Welcome to Through the Trauma podcast. My name is Amber Larkins, published photographer, storytelling expert, visual artist, entrepreneur, speaker, and coach. This podcast was born from one question: how do I get inspiring stories of triumph out to the people who need to hear them the most? Come with me, enter my world, where lives are getting changed, heroes are getting developed, and greatness is being achieved. Hello and welcome to Through the Trauma podcast. I am Amber Larkins, your host, and I want to take a few minutes and welcome you to this podcast. I want to talk about what you're going to be experiencing and hearing on this podcast, the people you're going to be meeting, and what you can expect from us going forward. So this will probably be the only episode where it is only myself. 9 times out of 10, I will probably have a guest because that is where the value truly is. I feel like the value comes in when we are able to hear impactful stories and bring those out to people that truly need to hear them. So without further ado, I want to go a little bit into what you can expect with this podcast going forward. On this podcast, I am going to be sharing with you impactful stories of trauma, stories of transformation, and stories of triumph. Now, I'm really excited about this because we will have guests that's going to come on. There's going to be these courageous people that's willing to share their story and truly have a heart that wants to impact and share and help other people. So you can expect to hear from those people. You can expect stories coming from those people, and these will be stories from all across the board. Anything from PTSD, grieving, addictions, whatever you can think of, or if you have your own story, then we would love to talk to you. But if you're here just to listen, then I just want to share with you, these are the types of stories that you're going to be hearing. We're also going to be sharing education and resources, and we're going to help you learn how you can truly pull yourself out of trauma if you're in the middle of a traumatic situation. Sometimes people struggle in these grips of depression and devastation and despair. And my heart and my passion behind this entire project is turning those things into empowerment, inspiring people so that they can thrive in the face of trauma. Everyone is going to face some type of trauma in their life. And I know this. I've been there. I've had my own trauma. I've had my own story. And I'll be sharing some tidbits from that where you can, you hopefully can relate to me. But those of you who can't, hopefully you'll find your guests that you can relate to. I became super passionate about this because I truly believe in the power of storytelling. And, I started doing this because I was photographing fitness. I was photographing athletes. And the more that I would photograph these people, I would hear these inspirational stories. And these were not transformation stories in the sense of weight loss. You think fitness, you think weight loss. These were stories in the sense of true, trauma people had dealt with from, debilitating diseases, horrifying accidents, all these different things that people had dealt with. And they had overturned that through transformation and triumphed over it and was now thriving in a setting where it was truly remarkable. And I would hear these stories and I truly felt like I needed to do something to be able to show their stories. Working with a client, doing photography, photographing them, I get to spend a little bit of time and we talk and I feel like we grow a connection and grow a closeness. And as I would hear these stories, I felt like this needed to be shared. What has transpired from originally what started as just photographing people to seeing the impact that this is making, I have been inspired to just do more. And the podcast is really born out of that. How can I get these stories of impact out to people that need to be impacted by them? So with that being said, I truly believe that as we experience certain things in our lives and we have these experiences, we can learn to use our voice to truly speak out about issues that maybe people don't want to talk about. People that need to be inspired, sometimes these things there's shame surrounding it. There's different things that come about that makes people not want to talk about certain issues. But I want to create a safe place here with this podcast where people have a place to share, because these stories truly can impact and change lives. Sometimes when we're in the middle of trauma, we feel like we're alone in that. And I think as we move more into this social media type world that paints everyone as having this perfect life, and we really don't, we're human. And so we're always faced with adversity and opposition. And I think sometimes when someone is in the middle of depression, and I can tell you this because I truly have dealt with a depression in the past. And in dealing with that, I can honestly say that through dealing with that, I have, if someone would have come to me that was dealing with that had overcome the same type of trauma that I had at that time, it would have impacted me greatly and probably would have made my journey a little bit easier and a little bit easier to bear. So I want to be able to bring that to you. I want you to hear these stories. I want you to take from them what you will, what you need, and be inspired by them. And if you are someone who wants to share your story, I want you to know that your story carries weight. It carries impact. And I truly believe that here it's a meeting of the minds where it's a beautiful fellowship of people that want to inspire those who need to be inspired. And those who need to be inspired can come here as a safe place and find resources and find education and find the things that they need to move forward in their journey. And that's truly my heart behind this mission. I feel like so many people struggle with things like shame and isolation and trauma and discouragement. People go through lack of hope and loneliness and pain. And there's just so many things that can take us down this road of despair. And I truly believe that you're not alone. Our mindset can make us believe that sometimes, but you're not alone. And I want you to be able to use this place as a place of surviving, a place of thriving, a place of seeking out and finding identity in yourself and in your experiences. I want you to not have that cloud of depression over top of you, but to really see that other people struggle and there's hope on the other side of that struggle. If you don't have someone to talk to, I want you to know that through the resources that we share here on this podcast, that you do have someone to talk to and you do have an avenue to go down to truly find the help and the resources that you're looking for. I want you to know that the brave individuals that you're going to meet here, myself and them, we truly have the heart to support you on this journey of transformation. I want you to know that you're going to find inspiration on this podcast. You're going to find people who are just like you, who has been through the things that you've been through. And my mission and my passion and my purpose behind this entire project is to help people get whole, get healed, get the help that they need, and get happy on their journey through transformation so that they can honestly start to enjoy life again. Now, what you can expect from this podcast is weekly episodes. So I want you to know that it's convenient when it's convenient for you to pop in and listen. And I want you to know that you're going to not only find these inspiring stories, but you're also going to find education on trauma, education on some of the issues that people deal with in trauma. You're going to find support and inspiration and encouragement. And you're going to more than anything, see that you're not alone, that you're not the only one that has gone through this. I want you to know that I empathize with you. As an empath myself, I truly believe in the power of being able to relate and pull together with people that need help. And I want you to know that you can find that here. I came from a dark place myself where I struggled with trauma, and it honestly pushed me into a state of depression where I've even struggled in the past with suicidal thoughts and just wanting to completely give up because I couldn't find any hope. And I resorted to the wrong things. I resorted to self-soothing through alcohol and toxic relationships. And, it wasn't truly until I found photography and then started to find myself through that and started to use my skills as a photographer as a vehicle to bring that same kind of passion to my clients. And hearing these stories of transformation has given me such a vision for the future and a hope for the future because I believe in the power of storytelling. Now, these podcast episodes are going to give you a space that, where you can be free and you don't have to feel shame and you don't have to feel embarrassed about the things that you've dealt with, because 9 times out of 10, you have not, it's a series of things that have happened in your life that has led you to that point. But that doesn't define you and it doesn't make you who you are. And my heart is to help you find who you are, help you find your voice so that then you can go out and inspire other people through your journey, through the things that you've been through. If you have a story of impact, if you have a story that you want to share, I want you to know that this is a great place to do it. Your story carries weight. Your story carries emotion and impact and so much inspiration and influence. And I want people to know that there is so much power that lies right inside of you. And if you are someone who wants to share your story, I would love to talk to you about that because I feel like you have so much to give. And sometimes we get caught up in the idea that we don't have a lot to give, but we do. I want you to know that you have the power to bring hope and encouragement to others. I want you to know that you have a place to share so that you know that this great life, this great fulfilling awaits you. And it really doesn't matter where you're at in your healing journey. There's a place here for you at this podcast. So I want you to come and share and heal and become unbroken because honestly, we are all in this together. And together, we're going to bring awareness to various traumas. We are going to bring healing and hope, and we are going to make the world a better place. So I encourage you and I invite you into this space. I would love to have you subscribe and join us as we navigate through the hard issues of trauma. And I hope that you find inspiration here. Thank you for listening to Through the Trauma podcast. If you have found value in this episode or believe in the mission behind what we are doing, please subscribe so that you never miss any future episodes. Also, be sure to check out our transformation project at transformationthroughtraumaproject.com, where we help inspirational stories get heard on a larger scale through multiple platforms. If you know someone who can benefit from this episode, please share it with them. Until next time.